Hello, my dear students. Good evening and welcome to EduShastra. I am Vinod sir and join me quickly. Yes, 4 more are waiting on the. Yes, good evening, all of you. Come and join me and let's do this very important session. We need to understand what tones are. Good evening, Beta. Aditi 2 pi. Now, am I pronouncing it correctly? I don't know. Okay. All of you, please note that you can ask me questions towards the end of the class. That is when about 10 minutes remain. You can ask me to unmute you, and then Tushar. Okay. Tushar, very nice. Good to know. Okay. And then you can ask your questions at that time. Okay. So let's start this class. This class is also important from the point of view of reading comprehension. Reading comprehension की जैसी बात करेंगे, this class becomes very, very important. Simply because you see, in a passage, I said in the last class, in one of the classes, I said, what happens is, in a passage, we have 2 components, right? We have 2 components in a passage. One is called the passage itself is called the argument, I said. The passage itself is called the argument. Okay. The passage itself is called the argument, and the argument is divided into 2 parts. One is the premise, and one is the conclusion. And I said, when we have questions, we can have 3 kinds of questions. I said, one is direct questions, second are the indirect questions. Okay, and the third are the comprehension based questions. Now, when comprehension based questions, there are primarily 3 questions asked. One, what is the primary purpose? Okay, it is primary purpose. Okay, the second one is title, and the third one is tone, and the fourth one is summary. Okay, now summary and primary purpose are almost similar. Primary purpose and summary are almost similar. We have already done 1 class on it. Now, this is very important, understanding what is the tone of a passage. Now, what do we mean by the tone of a passage, and where do we find it? Okay, it's pretty easy. Tone is nothing but the emotion expressed by the author when he states his point. जहां पर में भी वो अपना प्राइमरी पर्पस बताता है, कंक्लूजन लिखता है, उस जगह पे वो इमोशन अपना जो दिखाता है, उसी को हम टोन कहेंगे. Human emotions are many. I'm not asking you your emotion. I'm talking about what the author has put into his writing as what the author has put into the writing as his emotion. And there could be multiple emotions within the paragraphs. Which one do I take to be the actual tone of the passage? Is where the primary purpose is expressed. Okay, so let's very quickly come to that portion. Okay, so tone क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं है सर, emotions हैं जो author अपने primary purpose को express करते समय बोलता है. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. हमारे क्या बोलते हैं प्राइमरी, क्या बोलते हैं इमोशंस बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. Those we will need to know. Okay, come. The first one. Okay, the first thing is to understand this. Read this and understand this. You see, tone is conveyed how, sir? Emotion को कैसे express किया जाता है? Tone is conveyed through diction, choice and use of words and phrases. Particularly the adjectives and the adverbs. The kind of adjectives I use, the kind of adverbs I use will show you the kind of tone I'm using. Viewpoint. Now, this is the most important point. How will we understand which is the best tone, which is supposed to be the tone of the passage itself? Then it has to be always the viewpoint or the conclusion, where the author is making the main point. What kind of emotion is he using there? Okay, even the grammar. How do we write sentences will also show your emotion. Okay, if you remember, if you have done subject verb agreement, or if it is to be done, I'll explain it when we have to do this. Okay. If you do subject verb agreement in grammar, you will come across a concept called inversion. Not only did he, now this is an inverted sentence. Now inverted sentences have emphasis. They lay stress on a viewpoint. Now even that becomes very helpful in stating your tone. Achha. And how you put your words and phrases together? Absolutely. And level of formality. How formal are you? If I want to be very funny, then my formality level will come down. I'll sound more like a conversation. Okay, but if I want to be very like official, then I write the formal writing. Okay, whatever the tone is simply to be found in the main purpose. So, what are some of the words? Now, this is only a very small list. Okay, objective, we can have all these tones. Now, what are these, sir? Sometimes, suppose I write the maths book. When I write the maths book, I will never show my emotion. There is no need to show my emotion. So I'll just treat it as something neutral, okay, objective. So the tone will be detached tone, neutral tone, unfeeling tone, or distant tone. You will not find that I'm trying to get into a relationship with you in terms of being a teacher and a student. I won't do that when I'm writing the maths book. Okay. But if I'm writing a book where I need to teach you how to communicate, then I'll use a lot of emotions. Okay. Now, serious, we have got some more words. Dignified, grim, formal, proper. Vocabulary should be good. If you want to do tone questions well, vocabulary must be good. Angry, there are many different words for angry. Being annoyed, lower degree. Annoyed, irritated, indignant, enraged, furious. Now you see, the level is also increasing. At times I might be very angry. I'm furious or enraged. That also must be made out from the passage. You have to understand what kind of emotion is being created and accordingly choose a word. Sarcastic again, satirical. If you make a political, if it is political sarcasm, it is satire. Ironical, okay. Ironical, sardonic, very heavy criticism, mocking, dismissive, then criticizing, disparaging, okay. Disparaging, hypercritical, nitpicking, or hair splitting, baal ka khal udedna, okay, trying to find faults with even the smallest thing, criticizing. Happy, this can also go like delighted, elated, ecstatic, euphorious, bahut zyada ati parmanand mein chala jana, delighted, elated, ecstatic, okay. Preachy, teacher sir, okay. Old people, usually what happens is they start becoming teacher-like, okay. So preachy, path padhana, didactic, pedantic. So we can have many words. Now, if you want such words, and if you want to download the material, or if you want to get the material for study material or your PPTs, or want to join a class, you must make sure that you get in touch with support@edushastra.com to express your interest in joining the next class also. If you are joining this class and you want to also do the next class, then please express your interest at support@edushastra.com. That is very important. Okay. And everybody should write to support@edushastra.com for the PDF of this file, because I have given a long list, about 7 pages of different kinds of tones that can be used. And I've also given you some words. At least learn those words, because that might stand you in good stead. Suppose you come across this word only for today. Only today, if you have come across these words, you have learned 2 new words. Suppose, sir, I did not know what elated was, sir, but today I have learned this word. So it's very important to go through the list of words that you will get from support@edushastra.com. Now come, okay. Now just note these and tell me we'll start with the questions. Tell me the tone of the questions that I'm going to show you. The first one, and this is a very good question. Say, do I really have to sit through another boring lecture on data entry again? What do you think is the correct answer? This was very easy. Okay, peeved. Okay, because the tone is negative. So it's not enthusiastic, it's not nostalgic, it's not optimistic and peeved. Now, how many of you know the meaning of being, what is nostalgic? Nostalgic is yearning for things that are past. Nostalgic days of my school. Okay, so when you start thinking about school, remembering something from the old days, good old days. We call them halcyon days. Okay, the best days of your life are called halcyon days, if you remember. So let's come to the next one. Peeved, irritated, angry, not wanting to sit through, complaining is peeved. Okay, now come to the next question. Which tone is represented in the following sentence? The alarm buzzed. Jordan smashed her fist down on it hard. It flew off the nightstand and bounced off her cat Armstrong. The cat yowled indignantly and rocketed out of the room. Eerie, sarcastic, passionate, humorous. Very good. Eerie is strange. Okay, strange and frightening. Strange and frightening. Very good. Eerie. Very good. And what do we mean by indignant? Indignant is being angry, but for the right reasons. Indignant is being angry for the right reasons. The author says the cat was indignant. That is, it was angry for the right reasons. Yowled is the sound, is the yelping sound it makes. Okay, then the cat yowled indignantly and rocketed out of the room. Very good. Come to the next one. These were easy, sir. We are getting to the thick of things. Okay, as we go along, things will become harder. Come to the third question. The third question is the same. Come to the fourth question now. Read this and tell me which one is the correct tone. Easy. This also is easy. Yes? Quite easy, sir. Humorous. Okay, fourth. Now, humorous. It's not bitter, it's humorous. Okay, move on. Come to the next question now. Now, things start. Be very careful how you select it. Objective means neutral, beta, Akash. Neutral. Neither here nor there. Maths book, biology book, chemistry book, okay, grammar book, they have a neutral tone. When I don't express any emotion, it is being distant. If you do not understand any word, please do ask me. Maybe I'll also not know, but ask me. Gaurav, Valis is a suitcase. Valis is a suitcase. Very good. Very good. Most of your answers changed. It's not vague, sir. It is very precise. Okay. It is distant. It is distant. Okay. But at the same time, flaxen is black and white hair. Flaxen. Okay. And not having life. Okay. Weak hair. Vague is strange. Vague is strange or unclear. Strange or unclear. Distant, I said, is fleecy, having the look of fleece. Fleece is a kind of wool. So fleecy. Acha. Distant का मतलब है as objective. We are looking at the person and discussing him as if he is an object. Okay, we are talking about him as an object. So it is, we say distant and precise. Everything is explained very clearly. Okay, so let's come to the next one. Let's come to the next question. Mocking, making fun of, मजाक उड़ाना. कोई भी वर्ड होगा बताना. अच्छा, इंसेसिव का मतलब क्या है? इंसेसिव का मतलब क्या है? गहराई से देखना, कटिंग, इंसाइज करने का मतलब होता है कटिंग, ठीक है, एकदम शार्प होके देखना। ये तो काम कर सकता था सर, इंसिसिव काम कर सकता था, लेकिन प्रिसाइज, एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग एक्सप्लेन्ड वेरी करेक्टली। Here mean objective, of course, Tushar, it means objective. We are looking at, I told you, see, I showed you that this one, you remember, I showed you this, you see, distant. That's why you will have to go through the list of words that I have provided at support at EduShastra. Okay, so download it, get it from there. Incisive is being sharp, and precise is being very correct. Okay, precise is accurate, and incisive is being sharp. Incisive remarks are very sharp remarks. Accurate remarks, absolutely what is to be said. Okay, correct remarks. Good. Now let's come to the next question. Here. Now questions become a little tougher. Okay, so be careful, think about them and then tell me. Gaurav, Sandeep, Tushar, Neha, Raghav, all of them say B. Akash. Very, very good. Very good. This is explanatory, sir. Okay, it is not optimistic. It's not dubious. Okay, it's not dubious. It's not optimistic. It's also not reverent. Reverent means, yes, we could also say objective. Yes, explanatory, objective. Dubious means causing a doubt. Causing a doubt is dubious. Okay, is it possible? ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या? Reverent means respectful. Reverent means respectful. Okay, so let's come to the next question. Okay, next question. Here, any other word that you want to understand? और कोई word बताओ, any word that stops you from understanding the paragraph? Anything that bothers you vocabulary wise, please ask. It's very important. Inheritable. हेरिटेबल, इनहेरिटेबल, अर्चित, जो इनहेरिट किया जा सकता है, that which can be got from the previous generation. Okay, now try this. Very nice, very nice. Most of you have come out with the answers very quickly. Very nice. Okay, what is it? There are two words which could look a little close, but others are easy. Okay, so what do you think? Is it worrying? Now, caustic is criticizing. Caustic soda, something that burns. It's not criticism anyways. Okay, it's not criticism, that's very clear. So caustic is not the one. Okay, and it is also not contradictory. It's not, the two sentences are not contradictory. He's trying to only do two things, either cautioning us or he's worrying. So what do you think is the answer? Mind-boggling complexity that exposes. And he thinks, if anyone now thinks that biology is sorted, sorted means सब चीज अपने अपनी जगह में बैठा हुआ है, everything is orderly, then you are in for a surprise. It's not, is what he wants to say. So what is he trying to tell us? Don't sit on your hunches. Okay, it is, he's cautioning us. Biology is not an absolute science. We are still learning it. We are still learning it. It's not worrying. So be careful, a little bit more careful before answering. Okay, I'm pretty certain you can do it. Mind-boggling is completely blowing your mind. Mind-boggling is blowing your mind. Okay, and then any other word? No. Gaze is to look upon. Gaze is to see. Okay. Then try this. Next question. Cajoling का मतलब है फुसलाना. Persuade. There are two words. There is a problem here. Sir, persuade and cajole mean almost the same. Almost the same. Now, when we have such kind of words from the same group, then how do we decide? Then you have to know the meaning of the words. I told you. That's why vocabulary will become important and the PDF will become important. Write to support@edushastra.com for material, for joining the class tomorrow. The follow-up class for this will be tomorrow. So for all that, you need to write to support@edushastra. Okay. See. Okay. Very good. Now, both of them mean how I join in sound. Hold on for a second, beta. Let me write. Okay. Now, let's come to one more thing. यहां पर मैं बता रहा हूं. ये बताना कि सर persuasive और cajoling में कौन सा लिखूं? Persuasive लिखूं या cajoling लिखूं? ओके, persuasive लिखूं या cajoling लिखूं? अब वर्ड पे हमको आना पड़ेगा, ताकत अभी वर्ड पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. Persuasive का मतलब है logically you are trying to make somebody understand. Logically, using logic only, and you are trying to tell somebody, asking them to do something for you. Cajoling is actually giving them an incentive. We do this with kids. First of all, we try persuasion. With kids, we try persuasion. Beta, please do your homework, and then you can come and sleep or do something, watch the TV or something. Okay. If he doesn't listen, we go one step further and we say, "Beta, if you do this, I'll give you a chocolate. So please do your homework." Okay, that is called cajoling. Now, what do you think? It is cajoling or persuasive? Just using logic? Yes, it is persuasive. Very nice. Now, there is also one more. One is called coercive. Okay, coercive. Here also, I'm trying to force you to do something. C-O-E-R-C-I-V-E, coercive. Now, when I'm coercing you, I'm putting a gun to your head. Do it or else. Okay. I said persuasive is trying to make somebody understand, make somebody do something through logic, Ronak. Here, cajoling is also trying to make somebody do something that you want them to do, but by giving them incentives. Coercive is also asking somebody to do something you want them to do, but by forcing them. Nahi karoge to jaan gavaoge. Okay, so coercive. Okay, so understand the forcing somebody to do something. Comrades, friends. Comrades, friends. Okay. Any other word? No. Come to the next question now. Come to the next question now. Okay. Now we will go back and I'll ask you something else. This is the first round we are doing. Okay. We are learning the tone. We'll come back and I'll ask you one more question. Okay. What is the difference between, very good question, Tushar, very good question, narrative and descriptive? Now this also you keep asking me, the other words also. Narrative is when it looks like a story. Okay. Narrative style usually has description like a story, event to event. Okay. Horizontally, event to event, vertically, and usually it is used for experiences or telling stories and in the first person. Telling stories and in the first person. Usually narratives will be I, we, etc. Okay, as if I am talking to you. Okay, it will have a conversational style. Is narrative. Descriptive is explanatory. Whatever you see, you explain. जो जैसा है उसको देख देख करके वैसे वैसे explain कर रहा हूं तो descriptive. Clear? Narrative can be descriptive, but it will have some more elements. उसमें क्या होगा? Narrative में क्या हो जाएगा? If I'm explaining it, I'll have the first person. I'll be telling you something like a story. Then it's narrative. Try this. 9th question. I'm looking at all the options. I'm waiting. Pompous means showing off. Pompous means showing off. I know a lot. Saddled, burdened. Sandeep, saddle. Horse के ऊपर में saddle लगता है. Saddled is burdened. What do you think is the okay? Light-hearted is simply touching the subject in such a way that a smile comes to your lips. Okay, almost like mocking, but it's not exactly mocking. I'm just being light-hearted. I'm not making it very serious. Opposite of serious is light-hearted. Do you think he's sitting like this and saying English speaking this way? It is light-hearted. Okay, absolutely. Light-hearted is making, it's not serious. And it is also not critical. Okay, it's not pompous. So the only word we are left with is light-hearted. And let me tell you, the same passage can turn into a serious note. Okay, by saying, see, that is why English speaking is so difficult, and I take on a serious note possible. I take on a pompous note, but I am sure I can teach all of you English spelling because it's quite easy. Something like as if I know everything, you don't know anything, then it will be pompous. Okay. Then critical, light-hearted is it brings a smile to your lips. Critical is when you are serious and saying that this is not to be done. Alochana karna. Very good question. What could have made this passage pompous? Like the same thing. Okay, I say, I can teach you everything. English is the only language. You see, there is no other language that comes close to it in terms of its grandiosity. Something like that. Then you would say immediately, say, come on, don't say that. Okay, spelling is very difficult. We understand that. It can, that's okay, but then it does not make it grand. So if I'm pompous, I start showing things in very high, in big light. Then it actually is. Okay? Then yes. Swapnil, it looks like critical. Very good question. Sir, it looks very critical. Okay, but then are you going like serious? Then if you go serious, then why not serious? If you say critical, then I'll ask you why not serious? Because these two words are similar. Okay? You see, saying it like this, the spelling is the most important thing. It's such a thing. Look at the choice of words. Okay? The oddity that we all perceive most readily is its spelling, which is indeed a nightmare. Showing off anything. He's not. It's not pompous, Vida. The answer is not pompous. The answer is light-hearted. Or not serious. Very good. Aditi, I'm doing two things. See, light-hearted. See, let's come to this. Is it serious, first of all? Is it serious, first of all? No. So the writing is not is not trying to make it a serious issue. When he's not serious, can he be critical? The two words are, can he be critical without becoming serious? And if you become critical without being serious, then you are actually mocking somebody. मजाक उड़ा रहे हो. और मजाक उड़ाने का मतलब हंसी आने का मतलब light-hearted. See how it works. What I saw was two words very close. Okay, I say serious and critical. अगर serious नहीं हो सकता, critical नहीं हो सकता, critical नहीं हो सकता, serious नहीं हो सकता, तो मेरे पास दो ही वर्ड रह गया, pompous हो नहीं सकता, lighthearted. Okay, and then look at the language. English speakers know that their language is odd. He's not making a case for being oddity is a very serious issue. He's not making that. The first sentence itself. And then this is, which is indeed a nightmare. And there is nothing called a spelling bee. Almost. हाँ तो बात तो सही बोल रहा है. Spelling bee बोलकर किस language में होता है? Every language goes by the sound it makes, and we have the terms, we have the say description or the illustration to write that. But English is not normal. Is it not a normal language? It is. The spelling is not normal. Okay, so there are many places where you can see that lightheartedness. It's not trying to turn it into a serious issue. गंभीर issue नहीं बना रहा. हाँ, how to differentiate between mocking and lightheartedness? You can't do it. You can't do it. Lighthearted, वो mocking ही तो है. Mocking ही तो है. Another word for lighthearted is mocking. Another like when you come, when I ask you to come at 10 o'clock, okay, and it is a Sunday, and you come at turn up at 12 o'clock, I say, वाह, मेरे लाल सही समय पर आ गए फिर एक बार. Okay, I was not trying to make it a very serious issue. I was not trying to be critical of you. I just wanted you to smile, me to smile. Get the point? And mocking lighthearted is one and the same thing. That's why again मैं बता रहा हूँ, वो PDF जो दूंगा, वो PDF जो आपको support@edushastra.com से मिलेगा, वो बहुत important है. Swapnil, very good question again. Do you think a nightmare is indeed a nightmare? बहुत बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है, लिख ही नहीं पाते हैं भैया, वो तो बहुत इसमें डाल देते हैं. हाँ, saddled लिखा है, saddened नहीं लिखा है, saddled लिखा है, वो तो burdened. The language is burdened, okay, and saddled means burdening it. Saddling it is burdening it with it this one. Vijay, you'll get the PDF by writing to support@edushastra.com. Tushar, simply say, please make available the material related to tones. Make tone related materials available to the class, to me, your email ID. Okay, done. Let's move on to the next one. Are you happy? And oddity, somebody asked me, what is oddity? Oddity is strangeness. Strangeness. I'll tell you in the next class. I'll tell you in the next class. Okay, Tushar, how to use them, I'll tell you in the next class. You get it first. Pompous Aryan showing off. Showing off. My English is the best language in the world. You see how good it is. ऐसा कुछ है क्या? घमंड दिखाना आर्या. Is he showing pride? Rather, the opposite. He's actually making fun of it. Rather than showing pride in this one in English. Showing off anything, right? Why should he use the word? Why should he use the word? We are talking about tones. We are talking about tones. We are talking about the emotion. मेरे से अच्छा कोई टीचर नहीं है. Have I to tell you that I'm being proud? Have I to use that word proud? I'm being proud and then I tell you. When I do that, you immediately know, sir, very vain. Okay, देखो बच्चों के सामने घमंड करते हैं. Understand that? Now try this. Very good question again. Read, take your time, and then ask. Tone we are talking about, okay? Tone we are talking about. There are primarily two tones which seem here, sir. दो चीजें दिख रहा है, okay? Very good, very good. Most of you are saying these two. ठीक है? Reflective का मतलब है, when I say reflective, I'm thinking about something that is past. I'm thinking about something that is past. So there are two. So it also looks like narrative. Looks like a story. Okay? But the entire story seems to be like those days, school taught me many things. And people will, when I think about it, people will say, even my friends will say that we had two kinds of educations. We had two kinds of educations, which means you're thinking more than adopting a narrative style. Okay. There is one more thing I want to tell you. There is a difference between style and tone. There is a difference between style and tone. Tone is essentially the emotion. Okay. Mostly what happens in your exams, listen to me very, very carefully. This is a very important thing I'm going to tell you. Okay. Sometimes the question that comes to you is, what is the style? I have not taught you style. I'll tell you what a style is. And sometimes they ask you the question tone. But there is a slight difference between style and tone. Style is the organization of the paragraph. Descriptive styles. The tone must be objective. Descriptive styles, explanatory styles, objective tones, distant tones. But sometimes what happens is these exam people, they do not make a distinction sometimes. They make a distinction sometimes. So now let us understand that tone and style are mostly thought of as interchangeable. दोनों को एक जैसे ही सोचा जाता है स्टाइल और टोन, लेकिन फर्क है. स्टाइल है किस तरीके से पैराग्राफ को अरेंज किया गया है. मान लो 5 पैराग्राफ्स, there are 5 paragraphs. How did I arrange the paragraphs? Not about the tone. I'm asking you, how have I arranged the paragraphs? I can arrange the paragraphs by taking one by one. I talk about part A, part B, part C, part D. I'm rating it in a descriptive style. The tone will be objective tone, neutral tone. If I'm writing the maths book, if I'm writing a, say, biology book, and I'm writing 5 paragraphs, it will have no tone. Okay? But it will be explanatory. Sometimes what happens in your exam is they mix both of them. So be careful how you are going to deal with this. Okay, I can't help you much more than that. Apart from telling you that there are only 2 things, style and tone, and style is the organization and tone is the emotion. The question says tone. So though I told you that narrative can also be a tone, if this word was not there, if this, agar ye word na hota, main narrative hi bolta. स्टाइल को ही टोन बना के बोल देता. लेकिन यहां पर अगर मैं इमोशन की बात करूं, भाव की बात करूं, भाव तो रिफ्लेक्टिव है. सोचने पहले सोच रहा है अपने पुराने दिनों के बारे में. ठीक है सर, ये रिफ्लेक्टिव ना होता तो नैरेटिव मार देते हैं. हाँ, कर देता हूं. If the word reflective wasn't there, I would have marked narrative. But if the question was, what is the style of the passage? What is the organization of the paragraph? Then this is not my answer. Then narrative is the answer. Okay. So these guys do it. Okay. For all practical purposes, you can think that the structure and the tones are one and the same thing. But according to the question, you have to make that differentiation also. How is maths hard being lighthearted? Acha, maths is hard. If the book itself says, if the book again and again, okay, if the book again and again says maths is very hard and they show it to you in a very easy way, then I would say that they have adopted a lighthearted way. Can you provide the PDF here, Sandeep? Yes, I can do that. Okay, before we end the class, remind me, I'll put the PDF here also. Why it is not narrative? Because Jyoti, ask me why it is not narrative. Don't ask me why it is narrative. See here, he's talking about his life. Okay, in school days, what all did we do? In school days, what all did we do? Where, acha. Well. Understand the difference. That's what I'm telling you. See, what I'm trying to tell you here is, understand this. There is a difference between style, which is organization of the paragraphs, and then tone, which is the emotion expressed. What is the emotion expressed? Tell me that. What is the feeling that comes through? I'm not asking you how it is arranged. Then what will you mark? Simply tell me that. Okay, narrative is a style, that is, you arrange them, I said, going from one event to the other, or explaining things with a personal touch. That is there. Explaining things with a personal touch. Wait, philosophical will come to Nandini. Just hold on. Okay, giving it a personal touch. So that narrative style is there, organization is there. But what is the tone? He is thinking, काश वो सब दिन में हम लोग ये सब करते थे. We used to do those things those days. We got two different kinds of educations. Both of them were useful. Okay, that's done. Now that you understood, so therefore it is reflective. But if the question itself was style, if the question says style, now let me give you some words for style also. Let me give you some words for style. ओके, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी बात कर लेते हैं. स्टाइल की अगर क्वेश्चन आए तो सर इसमें कौन कौन से वर्ड्स आते हैं? फर्स्ट इज डिस्क्रिप्टिव. रिमेंबर, डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टाइल हैज अ टोन, यूजुअली एन ऑब्जेक्टिव टोन और न्यूट्रल टोन. डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टाइल में ऑब्जेक्टिव टोन होता है. नैरेटिव में कोई भी, नैरेटिव स्ट्रक्चर में कोई भी टोन हो सकता है. कहानी बताने की चीज है, दुखी भी करवा सकता हूं, खुशी भी करवा सकता हूं. ठीक है. देन वी हैव cause and effect. 2 paragraphs are causes, 2 paragraphs are effects. Okay, the tone could be any. Again, the effect is the main point. If I want to make, then the effect, whatever tone, whatever emotion it expresses, will be the tone of the passage. Cause effect. Okay, reasons. There is an issue and I'm writing the reasons. Reason number 1, reason number 2, reason number 3. So I'm writing it in terms of importance. All the paragraphs have been arranged in terms of important, starting with the most important to the least important, or starting with the least important to going to the maximum important. And then we have another style called chronological style. Chronological style. Time-wise arrangement. Remember, there is a difference between style and tone. Style is the organization, tone is the emotion. Many exams do not make a differentiation. That time you need to be more careful. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Did you understand now? कुछ एग्जाम्स इन दोनों के बीच में फर्क नहीं करते, दोनों वर्ड्स को मिलाकर देते हैं. अगर मान लो 2 क्लोज वर्ड हो गए, जैसे कि इसमें है, how will you understand? तब ये जो मैं डिफरेंस बताया वो काम आएगा कि one is a structure and one is a tone. Then you can actually work it out there. Do you understand? Do you get me now, Aditi? Do you understand how it works? Now let's come to the next one. Sir, what is philosophical? What is philosophical? Philosophy is a belief. Philosophy is a belief. Now, if I express my belief, this is a past event. It's a past event. It's a fact. It is not a philosophy. Okay? Philosophy is, I believe nobody should actually tell a lie. Come what may. Even if it kills somebody, okay, I should always tell the truth. Something like that. Okay, that's a philosophy. You believe in it. Okay, so philosophies are beliefs. There is no belief here. It's a past event that he's talking about. Okay, now what is hunter-gatherer? Very good. Please give some questions related to style also. Of course, when I do that class where all the questions are together, I'll put all of them. Style questions, tone questions, everything. Today we are focusing on tones, and then once we are done, I'll start giving you longer passages where everything will come. Don't worry. Hunter-gatherer, who are hunter-gatherers? Nowadays, we are civilized. We stay at one place. But when civilization started, how were the people? They would go from one place to the other, hunt, gather. So hunter-gatherer. Tushar, did you understand? Yes? Acha. Is there any other question that you want to ask? According to this, immerse yourself means पूरी तरीके से डूब जाना, to sink into something. What is hypocritical? Very good. Sir, hypercritical is okay. This is all a play on words. Okay. Hypercritical is being very, very critical. Hyper means low. Hypo means low. So can you think of a word which is similar to hypocritical from the words we have learned? Not all that critical. Hypothermia, absolutely, very good, Raghav, which means serious. Hypocritical. Hypercritical will be serious. Hypocritical is I'm not being so serious. Then Akash, lighthearted. Absolutely. We say lighthearted, mocking, mazak karne wala, hansi lane wala, humorous. Okay, all those things will come in. Okay. जानबूझ करके I'll give you words to confuse you, because vocabulary is very important for tone questions. Okay? Then read this. And there is one more word. This also we will learn. Vainglorious is very proud. Being very proud. There is no word called proudy. Okay, please don't ever use the word, even if it comes to your mind, kick it out of your mind. There is no word in English called proudy. Pride and proud. Pride is the noun, proud is the adjective. Foibles, very good question. Foibles are shortcomings, Arpit. Shortcomings. Quintessentially, basically, as the essence of it, निचोड़ निकाल दिया जाए तो vainglorious, I said, is being very proud. Akash, बहुत घमंड दिखाना, aggressively proud. Enigmatic, mysterious. Something not easy to understand or solve. Read the entire sentence, understand the main purpose. Understand the main purpose and then tell me the answer. And argumentative is taking one side and sticking to it. In school days, we used to do debates, right? Okay. An argumentative tone will be when you take one side and you don't want to look into the other side at all. I'm not going to be analytical. I'm going to take only side A and you take side B and you only talk about side B. So which one is the answer now? Read it. What is the main purpose? Understand that. What is the main purpose of writing this paragraph? And then tell me the tone. Main purpose is what? Which sentence is the main purpose sentence? Last three lines. Of course, Aditi. Absolutely. You're bang on. Okay, you say that very, very correctly. Now you tell me, what is the real challenge? What is the real challenge? The real challenge is to understand the immensity of the universe in that scales, in those scales. For us, everything is limited to the earth. Okay? Everything is limited to the earth. Can we do it on that scale? Is it so easy? No, it is difficult. Very good. It is very difficult. So we are looking for a word like difficult. Which one is the answer? We are looking for a word like very difficult. We cannot actually understand the universe with our limited concepts, because whatever we do, it's too huge. Absolutely. A or D is the correct one. Argumentative is I take one side and keep saying, I'm not looking into the other side. He's not doing that. He's trying to tell us, he's actually given us good enough reasons to think this way. It's not argumentative. It is analyzed. It clearly says, I have seen what do we do? Even in the best of movies and even in the best of research, what can we do? The maximum that we cannot travel at the speed of light. So there is no way you are going to say anything big about the universe. Okay. Sci-fi seems to be distinctly human in character. Is that the purpose of writing this passage? Akash? Is it not the supporting idea? Against or for? Aryan, let's talk about argumentative. Let me give you an example. Okay. Enigmatic is hidden. Of course, Raga. Hidden, mysterious, hard to solve. There are so many meanings. Conundrum, puzzle. There are so many meanings. Why is something a mystery? Because it's a puzzle. You cannot find a solution. Okay. What are foibles? Foibles are shortcomings. Swastika. Foibles are shortcomings. Okay. Now, understanding the main purpose will give us the answer. Acha, argumentative, there are some examples. I say, which one is a better team? India or Australia? Okay. Some of us say Australia. I am not going to look into the good side of India at all. I'm going to only and only support Australia. Okay. There are some people who support only India. Both of them are argumentative. Somebody comes in the middle and he says, I'm going to look at the good and bad of Australia. I'm going to look at the good and bad of Australia, India, and then try to logically reach a conclusion. I'm analytical. Vainglorious is very proud. Impossible outcomes. Of course, Aditi. Yes, it can. Because, see, enigmatic is a synonym for a puzzle. Something that is puzzling is enigmatic. Mysterious, puzzling, mysterious, enigmatic. So here he actually tells us, here he comes up with a puzzle which cannot be solved. Not now. आज के दिन में solve तो नहीं हो सकता धरती पर. ठीक है? So he is presenting us a conundrum. I could have written conundrum. He is presenting a conundrum लिख देता मैं. ठीक है? लेकिन instead of doing that, I wrote the word enigmatic, which is of course a synonym. A synonym. Analytical and critical. Very good. Swastika. Again, that's a very good question now. Okay. Analytical is I look at the how, why of things. I look into the how and why of things. Kaise hua, kyun hua, how and why of things, analytical. Okay. And then after doing this, I take sides. It's a critical analysis. When I put the two words together, critical analysis, I'll have to also analyze and then criticize. Analyze and then criticize is critical analysis. Okay. But separately, analytical will be simply looking into the whys of things. Okay. Why and how of things. And critical will be criticizing. So understand this. Critical analysis is something different. Critical analysis, when I put the two words together, it has got a different meaning. First of all, you have to analyze and then also criticize. After analyzing, criticizing. In one case, what I do is I simply am critical. I'm simply criticizing. I'm simply being argumentative. I'm saying that something is bad. It should not happen that way. Something is bad. It should not happen that way. That is being argumentative. Okay. Now, argumentative again. See, I'm trying to explain things to you with all their complexities. Argumentative can be positive or negative. Argumentative can be positive or negative. You can argue for a cause or against a cause. Critical is always against a cause. Critical is always against something. Okay, but when you are argumentative, I could actually take sides. Side lena, paksh lena, argumentative. Critical होना, किसी को गलत ही बोलना. Critical analysis, analyze and then criticize. ठीक है, words को याद रखना, बहुत important. What will be objective? Objective is when I'm looking at something and telling you as it is. When I'm looking at something and telling you as it is. I look at this pen and I say, this is black. It's about, say, 8 inches long. Okay, it is used to do something. This is called objective writing. No tone. Objective writing, no tone. Okay. Describing. Objective, everything comes together, but then if it is structure and tone, please be careful. Then this one, 12th question. What is subjective? I'm coming to that. Refrain means to keep away from. Pragati, dur rehna. What is subjective? I'll tell you. Any material you want to join the class tomorrow, you have to write to support@edushastra.com and state your need. Ambiguous का मतलब है double meaning. Ambiguous का मतलब है unclear meaning होना, चूंकि वो दो तरफा meaning दे रहा है. Optimistic is सकारात्मक, having a positive feeling. Absolutely, very good. It is worrying. Very, very good. Okay. And ambiguous, whenever I say ambi in any word, it means two. Ambi or amphi means two. So ambiguous having two meanings. So it's not clear to you. क्या करवाना चाहते हो? ये या वो? ठीक है. Why are you ambiguous? Why are you not clear? Okay. Refrain. I'm sorry. It's a common refrain. Now, refrain used as a verb means dur rehna. Somebody asked me this word. I'm sorry, I did not notice that it was used as a noun. Okay. And as a noun means repeated speech. Repeated speech. We are doomed is a common refrain in casual conversation about climate change. Why is it not optimistic? Because Swapnil, what is the main point? What is the main point? What is the main point? Is the main point? No. Is this the topic for tomorrow class, sir? RC Central Idea Summary Title. What time? 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock? Hold on for a second. Optimistic means hoping. Yes. Yeah. First of all, see, I told you that there could be multiple tones within a passage. Let's go back. Let's take steps back and then come back to that. Where did I tell you the tones are? Kisko tone manna hai? Let's listen. Listen to this small example. I was so happy that I could finish the task on time. However, I was not paid for my job. Okay, I was not paid for my job. The payment took so long that I had to incur a loss. Tone kya hai? Tone is positive or negative? Swapnil, very good. Very good. Negative. The same way, Swapnil, what we should see is here. It is all we can hope for is to minimize. All we can hope for is to minimize climate change by keeping global average temperature to less than this one. Okay. It is still physically possible. And then there is a clause, there is a condition. It is physically possible. But will the world want to do it? Will the world want to do it, you see? But realizing, this sentence becomes very important now. But realizing 1.5 degree consistent pathways could require rapid and systemic changes on unprecedented scales. आज तक जो नहीं हुआ है, वो होना है. तो ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है क्या? आज तक जो नहीं हुआ है, बच तो सकते हैं, लेकिन आज तक हमने जो सोचा ही नहीं, वो करना पड़ेगा. कैसा लग रहा है? If you remove the last line, if you say I can achieve it, but all said and done, I still think we can achieve it. अगर ऐसे कुछ लिख देता तब तो हो जाता. The author starts with by saying that we are doomed, and then he says that global temperature can be kept, at least has to be kept under 1.5 degree, okay, which is still physically possible, the research says, but for that humongous task must be taken. Now, is it worrying or it is optimistic? That's why I say go for the primary purpose. Only then you will understand. Here, this is what is the primary purpose, says the Intergovernmental. This is the primary purpose of the passage. That though it's physically possible, is it still, can we really do it? Is the question. Worrying. There are no other words. So worrying. Okay. Come to the next question. Very good. Very, very good. In the same way, keep asking. Keep asking. Don't take my word for it. You want to fight it, fight it. Only then you will understand. Vinod sir ne bata diya, maine maan liya, wo mat karna. Okay. I love it when people ask me questions, because then you will learn. I can give you better explanations. What is doomed? What is doomed? Doom is not no hope. Yes, hopeless, bound to fall. Very good. Very nice. What is unprecedented? इसके पहले कभी ना हुआ. Unprecedented. It has not happened before this. Never seen before. Absolutely. Try the next question. Now it is bigger. 13th question. Dystopian is an imaginary world or imaginary place where there is unlimited suffering. Unlimited suffering. The opposite of dystopia is utopia. The opposite of dystopia is utopia. Utopia is the absolute happiness. Permanent jahan ho. Swarg, Nark. Alakhya. Heavens, utopia. Imaginary. Hell, dystopia, imaginary. Wait, this is not easy. Where is the main purpose? Where is the main purpose? Only then. The first paragraph or the second paragraph? Skeptical means doubtful. Not sure of something. Which place actually? Swapnil, where are you? Okay. Where is the main purpose? What is the main purpose of writing this? Good, good, very good. Very good. Yet a growing body. Who said that? Very nicely said. Okay. This is where the main purpose starts. Yet a growing body of research shows that there is no strong toggle in the brain between fiction and non-fiction. People often incorporate lessons from fictional stories into their beliefs, attitudes, and value judgments, sometimes without even being aware of what they are, why they are doing so. Okay. Now the question is it supported by, is the argument that people look at non-fiction and take it into their life as fiction, is it supported by research, or it is only the author's opinion? Research. So it is analytical or argumentative? Tone. Analytical. Very good. Why is it not objective? It's not objective, sir, because I'm simply not looking at things as they are. I'm trying to prove a point. So I'm being analytical. Not say, very good. So he's actually saying that these are some of the things from research. It's not my say so. I'm basing it on the research, that is a growing body of research is showing that people do take, there are no things like this is my non-fictional realm and this is my fictional realm, and I'm not supposed to come from here to this. Okay, people do it, he says. Okay. So an academic paper will be analytical. Of course, it has to be. Otherwise, how will you write an academical paper? Okay. Now, then controversial, no. Now, controversial, see, very good. See, here I am contradicting what has been said in the previous passage, previous paragraph. Okay, I'm contradicting maybe. I'm contradicting maybe, but I'm not creating a controversy. विवाद खड़ा नहीं कर रहा हूं, विवाद नहीं खड़ा कर रहा हूं. Argumentative and analysis. I'm coming to that, Tushar. Wait for a second. That's why it is not controversial. I'm not pushing you into a place where there is a vivad khadi ho gayi. It is, see, growing body of research is actually giving me the support. So it's not a controversy I'm creating. Okay, I'm giving you support. Okay, now analytical and not argumentative. It's not argumentative because it is not the author's opinion which he blindly is following. He's not, see, when we follow one side of the story blindly by not looking into the other side at all, when you go to the World Cup, you know very well that India was not at all there in the picture. It's not going to go into the finals. You still wanted it to win. You were argumentative. Okay, not using reason. What you're doing is you want something to happen, so I'm going to stick to it. Okay, that is being argumentative. But if I use data, if I look into the why of things, ऐसे क्यों मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, if I look into the why and how, then I'm being analytical. Now you tell me, do you understand the difference between analytical and argumentative? Getting it? Okay. Aditi, controversial, you asked? Yes. One is, sir, a little problematic here. Analytical, well, is analytical a tone or a style? Now, if I ask you, is it not the case? Subjective and argumentative. Subjective is more, yeah, very good question again. Subjective and argumentative is simply, subjective is being opinionated. So one and the same thing. Being subjective and being argumentative are one and the same thing. Everybody has a different opinion. Strong toggle means something that can be switched on and off. Something that keeps pulling it this side or that side. He says there are no strong toggles. Okay, no, you are not supposed to go there. Come back. I'm switching it off because my non-fictional area is done. So I'm not going to get into fictional area. This is real life. That is imaginary life. Okay? तो भाई इससे उसमें नहीं जाना है. ऐसा नहीं होता. People do go, he says. There are no strong toggles. It's so easy for us to understand. Okay, movie mein dekh liya somebody doing some stunt. You want to do it here also. We tried with our on our motorcycles also. Okay, they are trained people, but we do it without training. So that is the thing. Clear? Let's go to the next question now. Any other word that is getting stuck here? What is the opposite of dystopia? I said. Do you recall it? Utopia. Very good. Very good. Don't say Ethiopia. Subjective and argumentative. Yatharth, subjective and argumentative are one and the same thing. Subjective का मतलब जैसे you are a subject. Yatharth के मन में क्या है? What does Yatharth have in his mind? I have this point, sir, and I'm going to only stick to this. Okay? It's argumentative or subjective. See, ice cream is tasty. Is objective or subjective? Subjective. Very good. Now, when somebody starts supporting it, I say ice cream is the worst thing you can eat, and you say I can also become argumentative. Exactly what I'm saying. When it is something is subjective, we can also become argumentative there, because I'll start taking that side. Okay. That was the last question, I think, for the day. So if you want, okay, so if you want, then you need to write for everything right from your study material, classes, study material, okay, classes, etc. To, if you want to attend tomorrow's class also, you have to write to EduShastra. Oh, sorry, support@edushastra.com. Sorry, support@edushastra.com. Okay, my handwriting is so bad, I can't read it sometimes. Okay, thank you all very much. Do you have additional questions on tones? Yes, Gaurav, I'll be putting them. You'll get them from the support team. You'll get them. Okay. Okay. Yes, tomorrow we'll do that class. Yes. It was really helpful. I want you to do well. Whatever questions I give you, please do them. Whatever questions I put, the team gives you, please do all those questions. And when you have a problem, bring it to the class and say, sir, I read something like this and I'm not happy. I was not able to understand. Okay. It's for that. Just attending classes will not be enough. Yes, you can access the recording also. Again, you have to get in touch with the supporting team. That's all.